Welcome to Speakeasily versus the 80s. Come with us on this intergalactic audio journey, boldly going with us on our collective midlife crisis after the forgotten and should be forgotten schlock flicks of the 1980s. We're reassessing the films that made us all into the trash-obsessed maniacs we are today, for better or for worse. I'm Odessa Lil, and with me, as always, in my state-of-the-art recording bunker in the Central Galaxy, are my co-hosts Klingon Vanna White and Shecky Davis Jr.
Hello.
Greetings and salutations.
Hi, how is it in the bunker here with me?
Fine, as long as you stay 6 feet away from me.
Oh yeah, we got our personal space on.
Yes, personal space on. We have those hazmat suits, though I think, these onesies are okay, right?
Yeah, are you wearing your panda onesie?
Yeah.
'Cause that's also
that doubles.
same diff.
That doubles,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
I don't like it when I have to go to the bathroom. I have to take it off and then basically I have to strip all the way to my knees to urinate.
No one says you have to.
I don't have enough to keep doing it inside of the Tyvek onesie right now.
We should just install a zipper
Whoa.
in the
I
bottom.
never thought of that. I'm
Yeah.
just wearing diapers.
Craft time.
Our special guest, we have a special guest. Our
Woo.
special guest today is the instantly recognizable character actor known for roles in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and as also that guy who ate a bunch of cannoli in that one Weezer video. That's right. It's the one, the only, Galen Howard.
Yay.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Wow, this has been great. Hey, you
Right?
know, we should do this more often.
Exactly. It's going so well.
Yeah, I think it's great that we're all, the world's on fire and we're just sitting here with microphones,
Yeah.
pretending everything's normal.
Everything's fine. I'm here in my hazmat snuggie.
Right?
Hot.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Very fashionable these days.
Yeah, it is. I mean, if everyone's doing it,
Mm-hmm.
then it's fashion.
Right. Right. Yes.
Yeah.
If
How's your
everyone's,
astronaut diaper?
I'm on my third of the morning, and they're durable. They're durable.
You are prolific.
They only bulge in the right places. It's very fashionable.
Whatever that means.
Yes.
All right.
It means fashion before function, damn it.
Right.
Depends.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
That was actually our sponsor. I just had to get that in.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Galen,
Okay.
I want to thank you for bringing us this tale of the independent PR woman who unwittingly teaches an uncircumcised robot to love.
Hot.
Right?
It's a timeless tale for our time. It's still I think it still holds up. It's just as relevant as it was 33 years ago. Yeah.
Right. We're talking about Susan Seidelman's 1987 Charmer, Making Mr. Right.
Yes. And it was her. This was her follow up to Desperately Seeking Susan, correct?
Really?
Yes.
I think so.
Wow.
They were like, "What else you got?" And she said this. Yeah, and I don't have it in front of me. Did she write this as well?
I don't think so, but
Okay.
hold on. Avast me, matey. I am sailing the Google seas as we speak.
That's good, because that's what people tune in for, is us surfing the internet.
Is us Googling? Yes.
Yeah.
Just.
What's so funny is it's like I had no idea what I was getting into when I started this movie.
Okay, quick question, real quick. I didn't mean to cut you off, but have you seen this movie before?
No.
I have, yes.
Oh my God! So I watched it with Odessa, and she had never seen it, and so there was like a group of us, coronavirus be damned, and we were watching it, and we were like, it's so me and the other people were talking about the movie, and she just had this look on her face of just like, and I didn't realize it until she said, "Okay, everyone, stop talking. I haven't seen this movie," and I was like, "What? Wait, what?"
I was like, you're spoiling it for me.
And I'm like, you haven't seen this movie? Like, I totally did not realize she hadn't seen this movie. So
I had never seen it either, and I watched the whole thing, and it was like kind of really bad, like resolution. And I
Yeah.
didn't realize that it was Anne Magnuson.
Yep.
That's right.
Of
Yeah.
Longwater.
Yeah, you know,
That's
she's been in my
like,
house.
Yes.
What?
Yeah. New
Yeah.
York performance artist, socialite. Yeah.
Yeah. Wait,
Yeah.
when was she in your house, Klingon?
Way back when Paul Nathan brought her over, and this is so freaking random. She needed somebody to tailor a burqa that she was going to be using in one of his shows. And she had made this burqa out of some kind of, you know, you have those kids like sheet sets that you put on their beds, and they have some crazy like
Like a Star Wars sheets?
yeah. I can't remember what the pattern is. I was thinking I would call Paul before, but it's too early for him. So yeah, but she came over to my house, and I tailored a burqa for her in my studio.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
She was like a sweet, weird lady.
I would
great.
expect nothing less.
Yeah. Jeffrey actually had gotten her to sign a Bongwater CD for him once.
Fabulous.
Awesome.
And she scratched out her partner's face and wrote Dick and just put an arrow to it where
I love that.
on the CD.
That's
I
awesome.
love that.
I love it.
So she,
I love that.
so yes, this is her follow up to Desperately Seeking Susan. However, she did
Seidelman,
do.
yeah.
What was that?
Seidelman's
Yeah,
follow-up.
yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, Seidelman.
Yeah,
correct.
but she did do a short video for Madonna's "Into the Groove." So, yeah.
Oh, right. Yes.
But
Yes,
I think the
yeah.
reason why though is because that video had scenes from Desperately Seeking Susan in it. So I think they're giving her
Right.
credit for that. So, but yeah,
Yeah, I would think. Right. Yeah. It was like a tie. It was probably a tie-in. It was the song was probably in the movie.
yeah, it was.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. But
Yeah.
Galen, have you seen Smithereens? Because that's what I really remember her for.
I never saw that.
I know about Smithereens. I still haven't seen that one, but I know that. Yeah, I know that's kind of what that was kind of her like festival cult favorite that put her on the map.
Oh, yeah.
I've
It's
never
so
heard of that. What is it?
Oh, it's so punk rock. We should definitely
Very
do it
punk,
for this
yeah.
show.
Yes, and this one is definitely not punk. It's very it's very new wave. It's incredibly new wave. I love the interior design in this movie. It's,
Yes.
the
Oh,
art
yeah.
direction is incredible. The I just wrote in like when I was taking notes. I just wrote in all caps triangular throw pillows.
Oh, yes. That
Yep.
pillow.
Oh God,
I want that pillow.
so bad.
They're so easy to
So
chuck at people too. It's like a boomerang. You
Yeah,
just
you're
like,
oh, my
whack.
eye! It's right in the eye.
Yes, that teal couch with like the yellow and red throw pillows. I love that.
That's
Oh,
a
yeah.
thing right now.
Oh, are they
Again?
back? Are they back?
Oh yeah,
in
that
vogue?
teal color is a
Oh,
is
the,
a
the teal
thing.
color. Oh, I thought you were talking about the Ninja Star throwing pillows.
No, I have
Just
not
start
seen
throwing pillows. Yeah.
that.
But there's such an aesthetic to this. Like, you know, Anne Magnuson's character, Frankie Stone, she drives this Chevy Corvair.
Yes.
And, you know, so there's this very, like, 50s, 60s, mid-century kitsch look to the movie.
Yes, and that like black and white Jetsons dress she wears.
Oh, so good. Her fashion's amazing in this.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Very-
I just really thought that in that day, at age number one, I had no idea that it was in Miami. I thought for some reason I thought it was in L.A. just the way it looked. So I think it was great that
Yeah, same.
that they chose a different location. And number two, I totally thought that her and Klingon would be best friends. Like she'd be like calling Klingon and being calling Klingon and being that dirty dog did this to me. Oh my god! And Klingon's like, we should kill him, and something like that. Yeah.
Of course. Yeah.
The scene
totally-
where she's driving and she's like shaving her legs, I was just kind of like, I could see Klingon in this role.
Yep.
I was just like, wow, people were doing that way back when.
Oh, in that scene where Ulysses comes in and her best friend like fucks him to death and like screws his head off and all that. I totally thought that we should redo that scene and have you and Odessa like been crying over me and my ass is all hanging out in a suit.
The wrong way.
Yeah.
Yeah, your head's on backwards.
Just totally redo that scene.
Yeah, and Mako is running around your body.
Yep.
So let's back up though. Galen, tell us about why you chose this movie for the show today.
Well, I remember when I came to this. I definitely came to this movie later. I think I was about 5 when it came out. So I think I discovered it about 10 years ago or so. I remember it was the early days of Netflix streaming, and I was like, I was writing like a friend and I were writing this like offbeat romantic comedy. So I was just kind of like, okay, what are like other offbeat romantic comedies online? And so like it's like this was one of the first that came up, and I was just going down that internet rabbit hole, and I was just I just remember being just a very just confused but charmed at the same time. And I think it has that kind of quality to it. It's it is kind of like you're being like seduced by an oddly childlike robot. Like that's the movie that's basically being like, here, watch me for 90 minutes, and you're like, I don't know, whoa, that's a little too much. Whoa, okay, no, that's way too much. Okay, wow, this is kind of nice. Oh, whoa, this is uncomfortable. Like that was kind of my experience with it, and I love the idea of an 80s romantic comedy starring the romantic duo of Ann Magnuson and John Malkovich. I mean, it's like they were like, well, Karen Finley and Brad Dourif weren't available, so.
Wow.
I forgot that John Malkovich was young at one point.
I know,
and funny,
and he had. And well, yeah, I think I realized that the reason he went bald is that, like the hair god saw what he was doing with his hair in this movie, and they were like, "We revoke all your hair rights."
I know.
Forward.
I was so weirdly into it. It was like, what was that movie with all the weird blonde children that like the Bad Seed?
Village of the Damned?
Village of the Damned. Yeah. It was just like, this is what these children would look like when they grew up and how they would act.
And possibly how they would behave if they were inducted into modern society.
So do you think this was the movie in which Malkovich was like, hey, I can either be a serious actor or I could be a comedic actor, and then went to the serious actor, because he plays those roles so very differently. Like
I know.
It's a really like his performance in that movie was just amazing. How he was, even the inflection in his voice when he was playing Ulysses, and that childlike wonderment was complete. Like he is a versatile actor. Like I was like,
oh my God, yeah.
Like he was selling it.
The distinction between the two characters is just wonderful. I still would put money on that some crazy experimental theater show was canceled at Steppenwolf, and he had like he had a spare 2 months.
Yeah, this is like an acting exercise for him, perhaps.
Pretty much, yeah.
But he really does. He's selling it. Like the way he runs around when he's Ulysses, like a child with his arms out in front. Like that's. Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Yes.
Some well-chosen business he's doing.
Right. Like he was doing like a lot of like Grotowski, just like a lot of like random movements and shit. Yeah. It was like, there was like a lot of like, you could definitely see like his early theater training coming into play there.
I was alarmed by how hot I found the robot.
I'm not.
So was she?
So you're saying that you found Robot Malkovich hotter than human Malkovich?
Oh yeah, because the human Malkovich was kind of a dick.
Oh, totally. Yeah, because he's the real android.
Right.
Jeff Peters.
Yeah, the foot massage scene, I was just like, yeah.
You're getting slightly aroused, huh?
You were into it, yeah.
I was like, this is, they've crossed the line here.
You're like, Jeffrey, can you come in here, please?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, do you think that would be like first dates or like more third date? The foot massage, the awkward foot massage.
Oh, gosh. The robot, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That's first date territory with the robot.
True.
That's what he's there for.
Clearly.
Well, I guess he's there to go into outer space, right?
He's there to go into space. Yes.
Yeah.
But he was taught to massage by the scientist, so which is just kind of funny. So, like, what are those two doing when the two Malkoviches when they're alone? If he's teaching him how to massage people's feet.
Did anyone else think it was very like narcissistic that he made it exactly like him?
Right. Well,
complex.
Yeah, and then she brings that up, and he says, "Well, of course I did."
What complex was that, Odessa?
God complex.
Oh, yeah.
God complex.
I mean, God created us in his own image, and so Jeff did as well.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So the quote was, Jeff taught me to massage the body part when I have a spasm in my mechanism.
In my mechanism, right.
Yeah.
Huh.
Is that a euphemism for masturbation or what?
I think it is.
But that would imply that Jeff Peters actually masturbates, and I don't know. I think he just like stares at fruit.
Well, fruit is kind of exciting.
Right. I think he just like stares at fruit and says like, "Oh, I'm done now." You know.
That is disturbing.
Does he stare at the bud end or does he stare at the stem?
I mean, I think it's. I think he has it like rotating on a Lazy Susan, and then just kind of like rotates it around so he gets the whole scope.
No, come on. We all know he's masturbating to episodes of Star Trek. No offense, Klingon.
Oh, I do too. My pastime.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah.
Scotty was a babe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
so hot.
I mean, you can stream them all for free on Pornhub. Especially if you're in Italy right now.
Oh Lord.
Okay, so let's go over this plot. Because
it's such as it is, yes.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so we get the idea that Frankie Stone is kind of a high-powered PR lady.
Right.
She's late, but she's worth it. She shows up late to this meeting.
Right.
And it turns out that there's this android that was created to go up into space. Actually, this is a part I'm a little confused about, and it's like the first plot point.
Right.
They have to change Ulysses' image for the public.
Yes.
I think it was so they could get funding.
And they have to angle towards the yes, and they have to angle towards the they have to favor the women's market.
Yep.
Well, that's what she decides, and that was a little cringe when she like pulls down the example chart. Thank you. Word. She pulls down the chart, and it's like a 50s illustration of a woman. She's like, "This is who we have to market to."
Yes. Here's a chart depicting an image of a woman, showed to you by me, a woman.
Right. But instead of just talking about me, like I'm just going to point at this drawing. Yeah. Okay. So she's going to give him like an image makeover. But she's also she just dumped her boyfriend.
Right. Yes. Steve Marcus.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, he's a politician.
Right.
Yes. Local politician. Yes.
Played by Ben Masters. And
Yes.
so she's like watching. He doesn't come home. He comes home the next day. She saw him on TV with like
Ha cha 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 cha.
exactly
Some lady making out.
So she's done with him. Her
Right.
her wacky friend comes, who's also broken up with the guy.
Yes. Glenn Headley.
Who's an actor. With the hair god should have smited him actually. In that he had some kind of random what was that hairstyle?
I have no idea.
The ex-boyfriend?
The soap opera star.
Oh, the soap guy, yes.
It's more that hat.
The Fabio hair, yes.
It kind of like is like a Fabio hair, but kind of like cut. Well, I don't know. It was terrifying.
Yeah,
I was just like,
Fabio mullet kind of thing,
yeah. I was like, what is happening?
Actually, Klingon, his hat kind of looked like your hat that you're wearing right now.
You're welcome.
Just less practical, yes.
Yeah, my hat is actually serving a purpose.
Exactly.
Keeping my headphones from squeezing my head.
Yes, for those of you at home, you might not know, but headphones are very painful to Klingon's head.
I'll
the
take
way
a
it's
picture of
shaped.
it and put it on our.
Yes.
I think you should.
Yeah, her ridges are very sensitive.
Yeah, that's right.
They do not favor the riches.
Oh my god.
They are not ripped for her pleasure.
Oh, God.
Womp.
Oh, indeed. So wait, where are we in this plot? I'm already lost.
I don't know.
Oh, okay, she's got the wacky friend.
Trish.
Yeah,
I
Trish,
think every
yes.
every
She's broken up with a congressman or whatever, Steve Marcus, politician guy. Yeah, then her friend's going through a breakup with Mullet Fabio, and
No, the thing that was crazy about this whole situation was, I think there was every woman pseudo stereotype in this movie, though. Is what not stereotype, but each of the women.
Oh yeah, her sister too.
Each of the women had a very different personality that was like in, I guess, the norm, because we had the successful woman who was Frankie, we had the actress who was, or the emotional woman, you know, who was her friend.
Right.
Then we had the independent punk girl, I'm not gonna do anything, which was her sister, and then Laurie Metcalf's character was the one that needed a man to sustain or something.
The man crazy one, yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes. This was in
And
the
then
day
the mom.
that you.
And then the mom.
Yes. Oh yes. Of course. This was in the day when crazy was depicted by crazy hair and beige, like just like wacky unkempt hair, like just like frizzed out hair and just like beige on beige.
And then what I thought was great was she was like, was there subtle racism going on with her mom and her sister due to who she was marrying?
It was not so subtle.
I mean, I was trying to be nice, but
right, she's about to marry someone who's either, you know, Hispanic or Cuban,
Puerto Rican, we don't know.
Right.
Puerto Rican. I mean, it's Miami, so who knows?
Right.
And he was a bus boy.
Yeah.
Right. Of course.
And I'm thinking,
course.
are they married? Are they marrying because she's pregnant, or is it just because? Or
Because it was because of love.
Clear.
She said it was because of love.
yeah,
So that sister who plays Ivy, the sister, that's played by Susan Berman, who was in Smithereens.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I loved her hair, her green hair, or blue hair, greenish blue.
Yeah.
Yeah, she had a good look. However, the wedding dresses were not
Oh my
great.
god.
oh, those dresses.
They were
Ugh.
horrifying. They looked like if they were a fire hazard. Like, you know,
A lavender fire hazard.
God, and when she got knocked down and her panties were everywhere, I was like,
oh my
what
god,
the
that was
hell?
some serious upskirt. That was just like so gratuitous. All legs akimbo and stuff.
Right.
It was well done.
Yeah.
Yes. Well choreographed.
Showing why you should not be wearing hoop skirts.
Yes, cautionary tale again. But all that is like a kind of a B plot, you know, the wedding and what have you. It comes important later. In the meantime, we've got Frankie Stone going to this the corporation that
Gentech or
Gentech.
Yeah.
No, that was Kim, like chemical something or another.
Yeah, maybe it's Chemtech.
Chemtech. Was it Chemtech? Yeah.
And the
Well, they go there.
and the head guy that drives the Fiero and kept hitting on Frankie.
Ramdas?
Right.
Yeah,
Another stereotype.
paging Dr.
Because
Ramdas.
bit.
Dr.
It's the 80s.
Right.
Well, okay, so she starts going to work there so she can work with Ulysses, the android. And this is where she teaches Ulysses some human traits that the scientist Jeff is just not okay with.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting that we're introduced to Ulysses before we're introduced to Jeff.
Oh, yeah.
Ulysses is way more interesting than Jeff is.
Yup.
That's right. He sort of just goes straight for her tits is what happens.
Yes.
Oh,
What
I
are
forgot
these?
about that.
And just- right.
Oh my God, how could I forget about that? Okay, I'm so accepting of those things in these movies.
Yeah, we've become desensitized all over again. What are we doing to ourselves here?
I thought it was fine. I think we should, definitely do that every time we meet somebody new.
Yeah.
Male,
Just go
female,
straight for the tits.
male, female, dogs,
Right.
anything. Just grab the tits.
With a dog, it just becomes more of a profound experience because you have to hit all six of them.
A little more unwieldy. Yeah, you kind of have to go underneath.
Sometimes they have 8.
Yeah. Oh, do they always have 8 or do they always have 6?
I
can't
don't
remember.
know. I think it's like
Go-
I think it's
Go count your dog.
I have one right here and it just rolled over.
Just so happens. Come here, Lola. She's counting.
How's the counting going?
I don't know. They're too much fur.
Ah,
Yeah. You never know.
Right.
get the
Too
comb.
much fur. Too much.
I just know that I have a burlesque number where I'm a werewolf, and I had 6 pasties. I don't know if that was based in any kind of reality or if that's just like how many pasties I made.
Oh yeah, that's
Right.
my hamster costume only had 6 too.
Right.
Well, a friend of mine, when we went to Folsom Street Fair, he went as a pig and he made, he took his shirt off and he made these kind of nipples and he put them down his chest, right, onto his stomach. And
Sure.
the amount of people, and they were flesh colored little crepe paper nipple things he made. And he kind of put them on with rubber cement stuff. And you should have seen the faces of the people. He had a little pig nose on. Ooh, the people were freaking out. They're like, "What the hell is that?"
Freaking out because it was hot.
I made fake latex nipples for Russ at the Hypnodrome, and you had to cut them off.
Oh yeah, good times. There's nothing like live theater, people. I mostly remember having to cut off his fake penis
Oh yeah.
because sure, I'm an actor. So where were we? Oh yeah. Okay, so she leaves Ulysses alone with her purse, and
No.
he gets in some adventures.
No. He was showing. She turned the TV on, and said, "Why don't you watch this TV, and then I'll be right back." Now, isn't that
Right.
just that was social commentary for latchkey kids in the 80s? Right there, so subtle, but I was just like, "That's me. I am
Yeah,
Ulysses."
that's how we grew up.
Where? Watch this during my
Right.
formative years. See?
Yeah, the babysitter.
Yeah, this
The
movie
electric
was
babysitter.
totally, they got me.
Yeah. Well, he was. Yeah. Well, yeah. Her justification was that it was for him to watch a talk show because he was going to be on a talk show later.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Which I was hoping they would pay off, and they didn't. I was hoping he would be on. They would have a scene of him on Sally Jesse Raphael and grab her boobs.
Oh shit. Okay, I'd like to see that. Good old Sally Jesse Raphael.
Oh yeah, but then he goes through her purse and pulls out her diaphragm.
Right. And
It
puts
goes
it
on
on
his
his
face.
nose.
Of
and
course.
eats it. Yeah.
What? Lord.
And the pantyhose. It's the
Right.
80s, so there's pantyhose coming out of everything. There's maybe
Right.
she had a
He,
egg in there.
Yeah. He just throws it over his shoulder like a jaunty scarf. Got to be ready.
You gotta have those flesh tone pantyhose ready to go.
Right. So he's learning some good lessons. Yes, and then he's then he's discovered by Jeff and has lipstick all over his face. The classic move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he gets to accuse Frankie or no, he gets to say that woman is turning you into a hooker.
Right.
When
Because
really
he's
the way that he
applied
was,
too much lipstick.
yeah, the way that he was wearing it was more clown.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, unless Jeff has just like been propositioned by a lot of clowns.
Ooh.
We don't really know what he's into. We can't watch him all the time.
That's right. That's right. We just know. Yeah. I mean, clowns and fruit. I think that's probably the same thing.
Yeah, I think it's just more of an opportunity for us to see that Jeff equates any kind of feminization with hookers.
Right. Yes. Just tramps and sexual depravity. Yeah, in general.
Like we really are starting to see that he's a little off base.
Yeah, probably a very like strict Catholic upbringing.
He's like the last person you want to invite to a party.
Oh yeah,
it's the worst.
Well, it depends on what kind of party it is. I guess.
True.
Any party, I wouldn't want that guy anywhere near any of my parties.
Yet, Frankie says, "Please, Jeff, come with me to my sister's wedding." Like,
which was so weird.
Right.
That is so exactly so out of left field, and I was like I don't get that.
She's got to save face in front of the ex-boyfriend.
Oh yeah, I forgot the ex-boyfriend met Ulysses, and so she's okay. I get it. It makes sense. See, subtleties like that in the movie are just completely lost on me. Sorry.
I will explain them to you because I'm a human. I will feminize you.
And you were actually listening and watching the movie while we were just gibbing and gabbing during it.
I know. I'm all shut up. I have to hear this important dialogue.
Yeah. But still, I mean, even then, I mean, for this person that who clearly detests her, and and then just because like they've had like a couple interactions, he's like her ex has had a couple interactions once with Jeff, once with Ulysses, and then for her to think like, oh, I would, that's worth like just spending a whole afternoon with this sociopath,
Exactly.
And for him to agree, that whole premise is just so weird.
Yeah.
Well, it wouldn't be an 80s movie without a touch like that to it, would it?
True.
Yeah. Odd couples, right?
Right.
There's a trope. But yeah, before all that happens, though, Ulysses stows away in her Chevy Covert.
Correct.
And which she has a shocking amount of garbage in the backseat of her car.
That was, I mean, but it just goes to show that she is a independent 90s woman on the go.
80s, 87.
80s, sorry, 80s. She's a working girl. She's got those shoulder pads.
She's busy.
Shoulder pads don't pay for themselves,
That's right.
That's right. Yes, the shoulder pads, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think it was just for that comic effect of him just like sitting up and like styrofoam cups falling off of him.
Oh yeah, I hate styrofoam.
Yeah, I know.
But also, I mean, she's not very domestic. She's not a housewife. She works. She's a modern woman, and she doesn't have time to eat meals and shave her legs. Like she's doing it all in her car.
Gross.
It's the modern experience. And it probably is pretty challenging concept to see that, instead of like the perfect homemaker, she is just more about her career.
Right.
But that allows him to travel under the garbage and go to the mall with her.
Yes.
But that was so weird though, because she was a modern 80s woman, living her life, doing her things, yet she seemed to be really kind of boy crazy. So would any of these women in this movie pass the Bechdel test?
No, there is no scene.
No, I didn't even try. I didn't even bother.
Test. No, not at all.
Yeah, they're talking about men constantly.
Yeah, I mean, given the title, I mean, I think you're kind of fucked. Yeah.
I think that she did talk about something other than with her ex-assistant when they were talking about the ex-assistant's new career. Did that pass?
Yeah.
I think, it's what I needed to do to get to my next level in my career or something. She was talking, but of course, her next level in her career was working for, her
career was, but the next level of the career was working with the ex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they were talking
So,
about their
yeah,
careers. It's ex adjacent,
Yeah, but it was directly related to Politico, dude.
And no, and they were an item.
Yeah.
Remember, she
Exactly.
was the rebound after Frankie.
That's
Oh,
right.
they were doing it?
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Yep.
It wasn't even
Yeah.
enough just to work for
she's
him.
like hanging on him, and yeah,
Oh, there was some boinking action.
Yep.
for sure.
I just thought
Political
that's
blanking,
how that's how people professionally did it, hung out with each other in the 80s, that they, like held hands and stuff with your boss.
Oh, Klingon, you have so much to learn about humanity.
And boinked.
So he Ulysses ends up with a tuxedo.
Right. Yes. With the stereotypical Jewish tux salesman.
Yeah.
And with Mozgov. And
Of course.
yeah.
Of course. And we find out he's not circumcised.
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He needs a visit to the rabbi, he says, or something.
Nothing a
Yeah.
visit to the rabbi wouldn't cure.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's when she finds out that he's packing a weapon of mass destruction.
Okay,
Right.
so the Tux salesman was famous character actor Robert Turbor.
Yeah.
Trebor.
I forget where I know I've seen him in other things, and I forget.
He was in one of my favorite movies, and one movie that we're gonna do in the future. Mark my words. He was in My Demon Lover with Scott Valentine from Facts of Life fame.
Oh, yes, My Demon Lover is great. That's when they would play like late night on Comedy Central back in the 90s.
Yep, and it was on HBO all the time, and I loved it. We have to watch it. Fantastic.
Okay, it's going in the list.
Who does he play in My Demon Lover?
He's the rival,
Oh, yes.
and he's the makeup in the movie was fantastic anyway. But he's the rival, and he's completely real quick. Just to veer off. Here is the synopsis for My Demon Lover.
Oh, boy.
A homeless street musician becomes a demon when sexually aroused.
Wow, now that is a concept.
And it's a
Fantastic.
romantic comedy. Yeah.
Homeless?
Yes.
On the street.
He's
I
homeless.
forgot that element of it.
Yeah, he
That
gets
is
cursed.
a boner killer.
He gets cursed.
Yeah, right. He has like a long time curse or something. Yeah.
Isn't being homeless a curse enough?
Nah,
You'd
I don't know.
think.
And being
Yeah.
a street
To
musician.
make it even worse. Yeah. It gets worse and worse.
But anyway, back to making Mr. Right.
Yes.
That was like the sound of all of our brains going offline at the same time.
Yeah.
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 Yes, we were having an Ulysses moment.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me take
We were
my
all
head
just
off.
short circuiting at the same time.
I was just thinking about
We
the
all just-
homeless guy and how like there's that website, Hipster or Homeless.
Oh, right. Yes.
Oh, it's funny because it's true.
Shit, where are we? Okay.
Okay, so he's
The wedding.
he sneaks off with her. They go to the mall. He gets the tux with stereotypical Jewish tux salesman, and
Did
yeah,
the
and that's when
pants
she
way
learns-
too short?
Yeah, I don't know
Right.
what that was about.
So you
Yes,
can
and
see
that's
he didn't
when
have any socks.
Right, and that's when she learns that he has a penis.
Yeah.
Shocking.
Shocking.
Yeah,
Why
she
would you
loses
give
him.
somebody-
She loses him because Laurie Metcalf finds him, and they go on their date. And
Yeah,
the saddest
she
scene in the
thinks he's-
movie,
Yeah, she thinks he's Jeff.
the saddest part of the movie was when she had to fucking buy those earrings for herself. Oh my god.
Oh, painful.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was yeah. She sold that moment. That was like a very crushing moment for her.
Yeah, really. Because there's like, hey, we'll take a check, card, or cash, and Ulysses says, I don't have any.
Right. He's like, yeah, I don't know what you're talking about there, bud. Yeah.
And then she begrudgingly buys that. I'd have been like, all right, put that shit back. Let's go.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
like,
it
nope.
was weird. Like, why would she would just be like, oh, well, yeah, never mind or something. Yeah, but she was like, yeah, that was a weird move.
She had to
Yeah,
save
like-
face.
I
Yeah,
guess.
I'm not that kind of person. I'm all like, nope.
Agreed,
Yeah,
100%.
that was a weird move.
I guess I identify with her a little bit. I mean, like, oh well, yeah. I guess I can't put the genie back in the bottle now. Yeah. Okay, I'll buy those.
I am totally like not afraid if people think I'm poor anymore. I'm just like, yeah, what? You want that? Like, I'll literally laugh at people if they ask for too much money for something, and I'm like, what kind of idiot do you think I am?
So, like when you go to buy toilet paper and it's $25 a roll.
Oh yeah.
You're like,
boy.
Put it back.
Yeah, but you first say, does it come with a free N95 face mask? Oh, well then put it back.
Does it come with an entire all over body spit massage?
Ooh.
Well, then I'm not interested.
I just love that in a couple months, all these references are going to be old.
Yeah, I better hurry up and get this online.
Yeah, get this out.
I hope it's old.
Hopefully,
Right?
hopefully they will be dated in a few months. Yes. Hopefully.
Yeah, I really do. Let's not let the genie of my neuroses out of the bottle right now.
No.
Oh, let's all let all the genies out of all the bottles.
I know. I don't
boy.
have enough Valium in my house to deal with this.
No.
God, me neither. Who hasn't been having panic attacks?
My doctor will only give me 5 at a time. Drugs are funny.
Drugs are funny.
Unless you don't have any.
Yeah.
Then it's not funny at all.
Yeah. Then lack of drugs are not funny. Yeah.
Remember? And then she said when the tuxedo salesman says, "Is it hereditary, or is
Oh yeah,
Congenital.
Contagious.
Is it?
Congenital or contagious?
Right.
Yeah. Congenital.
And she says it's
She's like,
drugs.
Drugs.
Right.
And then you just really see it. Like, yeah, I could totally see this guy being a drug casualty.
Yeah, he's just high right now.
Right.
But he totally bought it. He was just like, oh, okay, like
Yeah,
that's
totally.
okay in the 80s.
Right.
He was high in an
"Got it."
ecstasy
Yeah.
high, though. That was like a full-on ecstasy high, and I don't remember ecstasy in the 80s. I think that was
Yeah,
like,
But
I
you
don't
know,
know.
he had
that was
to, you know,
Quaaludes territory.
exactly. Yeah. But yeah, the dude had just had to make his sale, so he was just like, okay, got it. Yeah, he had to make his quota, you know.
Ooh,
Yeah, of course.
and when Ulysses walked out of the store and she tried to go after him, he snatched her arm real quick. I was like, damn.
He needed that quota, man.
You're not running away with a tuxedo. No way.
Yeah, that just
Exactly.
definitely seems like a like a way that somebody would totally get you too. It's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna put this tuxedo on and just wander away, and then she's gonna chase me, and then they never come back. And he's
Yeah.
just like,
Right.
nope, I fell for that once. I'm not falling for it again.
Right.
Speaking of Jews, what about
Thanks.
Okay, what about the Fabio guy? What was
Yeah,
up with his handlers?
I think that was his agent, wasn't it?
Yeah, his like managers, his agents, whatever.
Yeah.
Are you
they
sure?
They
I
were,
don't-
of course, older Jewish men.
Yeah.
It was so weird.
Oh yeah, were those right? Okay, those were his handlers. Yeah,
Yeah.
The one that tried to bribe her with Tiny Tim tickets.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that. Yeah, I was just like, gosh, Tiny Tim was a thing.
But
He's always been
Still
a
a thing
thing.
in '87, apparently.
but why was she allowing them to kick her out of her own home? And
know.
why did I understand they had to get her and Ulysses together, but why in the hell did you continue to go back to the? I get it. It's they gave her an office to work out of, but it's like, why the hell are you still there? I don't know. It's just-
Right.
part of that
Yeah,
was
she-
kind of weird to me.
She gave up on her house pretty quickly.
Yeah, and I
Oh,
would
yeah.
just be like, dude, all of you dudes out right now.
Yeah.
Take your sandwiches and go.
Yeah.
Right.
Take all of your sandwiches and your weird accoutrement and get the fuck out of my house.
There are definitely some funny Jews in this movie.
Ugh.
Yeah. Well,
That's they got yeah.
He's Meshuggah.
and how? All right, so she's sleeping over at the office.
Right.
Which is weird.
which is weird.
But they spent a lot of money on that office. Like
So they
that
had
machine
bunch,
door.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, wow, that portal door, machined portal door. It was just
The
like
portal
super
door.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that was sexy.
Yeah, although I would be tripping over this threshold all the time whenever I open up the door, because it's got a lip at the bottom too. Yeah, and I would be like face planting into that hallway every single time.
Oh, the other thing that's kind of fun is every time she goes to that office, she's carrying a Rolodex with her, like it's a cell phone.
Like everywhere she goes, she has a fucking Rolodex.
That
Yes,
Rolodex
that's right.
is epic.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Back in the day of Rolodexes. Yeah.
Yeah. You're not gonna have your cell phone. You're not gonna have a laptop. It's the Rolodex.
Yeah. All those numbies. Yeah.
I found my old Rolodex a while ago when I was unpacking.
Oh, you're kidding.
Oh boy.
It was
How do I-
weird.
Wow.
There are friends in there that I don't even remember having.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And now now we're in the modern era where we have hundreds of Facebook friends we don't remember having.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, did I meet you at a party? Did we like
Wait,
boink?
what? Yeah.
Like, guess I'll just smile and shake my head and be like, yeah, that guy.
Right.
And
Yeah.
that guy.
Oh, it's you.
How well do we know you?
Girl, don't I owe you money?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so she's pretty much ready to go to the wedding at this point, right?
Yep.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's all this friction. Like Jeff the scientist is upset with her for ruining his creation because all the things he's tried to get out of his own personality, she's putting into Jeff's personality. Things he sees as weaknesses.
Yes,
Humanity.
which is interesting. Yeah, which is interesting. Yeah,
And-
you have to wonder, like, he has to have like some like resentment towards his mother or something.
Oh my God, completely.
Yeah, like did he have like some single mom who was like dating a lot of was dating like a new dude every 3 months or something? Like, there has to be something like that.
Or just detests all of womankind, because
Yes, because of that. Yeah.
because of that, and it distracts men from the true men's work, which is science.
Yes, exactly. From
he's
his
trying-
life purpose, correct.
Yeah. So he wants to send Ulysses into space for 7 years, and he doesn't want him to have any kind of human emotions, because that's what makes it hard for a human to be in space.
That's right.
Human emotions. I would think it also food and needing to poop, but
Yeah. Like, how many bags could you
Right.
possibly take into space to last for 7 years,
yeah.
Well, the weirdest thing was,
Right.
the first time I saw the movie, I thought he was going into space forever, and I thought, damn, Jeff, you're gonna kill yourself for that. I mean, but for some reason, I never.
Oh yeah. Spoiler alert. Yeah.
Yeah, but I never realized that it was 7 years. I thought it was like forever, and I was just like, Jesus, what are you doing, Jeff?
Right.
Well, it is his
Yeah.
dream
Still 7
to
years
go
is
into
a long
space.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
he says it's the most important thing.
It's what he wanted ever since he was a child.
Yeah, it's like for his own kid, he wants what he wants, and he wants his own kid, Ulysses, his creation, to live out the dream that he feels like he could have lived out. But,
Right.
meh.
Which I don't think is really like. I think he's smart enough to be an astronaut, unless he was like had weak ankles or something. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. I mean. Yeah. Yeah. I think he's got the right stuff for sure.
Well done. But instead, he just makes a mini-me. He makes,
Yes.
he makes
A surrogate,
duplicate, a surrogate to go into outer space.
Right.
And here she is lousing it up with all her human emotions.
Yeah, and like posing,
Women.
having him pose as her cousin, and then having her best friend boink him.
Yes. That was awkward. Yeah. Yeah. When Glenn Headley. Yeah.
And he's, like, laying on the floor.
Thinks that she boinked him to death. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's laying on the floor with Snowball.
Oh, right. The dog. Yeah.
Yeah, with his head on backwards. That was,
Disturbing. Yeah.
yeah. With his pants down, with his butt showing.
Mm-hmm.
His butt's on
Cognac.
backwards, or his head's on backwards, not sure.
So yeah.
But no,
you can tell your head from your butt. Yeah.
All right, so she gets Jeff to go to the wedding. He's a wet blanket.
Yeah.
But
Of
he's
course.
doing it somehow, for some reason. And then Ulysses walks there. Oh no, he actually gets a ride, doesn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Magic black guy.
Yeah, from a friendly black guy.
Yes, Matt. Yes. Right. Whose sole purpose is to as a chauffeur to a robot. Yeah.
Well, no, but that was the thing. It's like they had to have some kind of diversity in the movie.
Yeah, because
They were like, well, they could be the guy who the guy who picks up a robot hitchhiker. Yeah.
all the flavors of white lady, a couple Jews.
Yep.
And
boy.
Ram Dass.
Yes. Oh, yeah. It's just like a Benetton ad. Yeah.
Right.
And he was in charge of everything.
The Indian, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so the shit goes down when the robot arrives at the wedding.
Right. Yeah, and then it prompts it prompts a big pile-on fight with all the exes. Yeah.
And then the senator's grand gesture was to shave off his mustache. Ugh.
Ugh, he was the worst.
I don't know about you, but Frankie must have had some killer kush or something, because these men were throwing themselves at her.
Oh boy.
Her magic hoo-ha.
Is it
Oh,
time?
boy.
Is it time to talk about Frankenstein?
That punani was banging.
Shecky, you are fired.
What? Just because I said punani.
I said hoo-ha.
Yeah. Hoo-ha's
Yeah, but you
worse.
have one.
Oh, yeah. It's like I'm
got
allowed
it.
to talk about it.
No fair.
Because
Y'all
I
were
have
talking
one.
about uncircumcised penises, so
Yeah, because those are funny. So anyway,
little turtles. Yes,
I know,
and for
it's
some
so
reason Ulysses.
distracting.
They're fighting. The New Jersey actor shows up because he wants his girlfriend back, and then for whatever reason, Frankie's friend, who left him, I think Frankie's friend was angling to see if Jeff's penis was the same as Ulysses, but she was taking an awful long time to get there.
well, he was just
Right.
too busy talking about black holes and space and stuff.
Yeah, and she was trying to loosen his
Right.
ass up, and then
Yeah.
the boyfriends
Put the
show
magic
up,
fingers
and
on.
everyone shows up. There's a big fight. Jeff inadvertently punches Ulysses, and I guess Ulysses can't take a punch or something because he starts to freak out. And
Oh, he falls in the pool.
no.
Yeah.
Before that, remember
Right.
he hits him. Then he falls onto the stage, gets onto the stage,
Oh,
starts
yeah.
acting all like fucking Peter Boyle in Young Frankenstein, and she's like, fire bad, you know. And then does a classic 80s fall into the pool. You see that? He walks up to the pool, spins around, and kind of puts his hands together and just kind of back flops into the pool. Very classic, very, very clownish. I loved it.
Yeah, there was no stopping him at that point. Really.
Yeah. And then,
He was going
and then
in.
he's all she's all, Jeff, can you save him? And he pulls his fucking head off.
Yeah, he just hits
Good
the
point.
reset button.
Of course, the sex robot is waterproof.
Ah! This is like getting into Cherry 2000 territory. Remember, we were
thought-
like, why isn't she waterproof?
Yeah, exactly.
Made no
So,
sense.
I thought that Ann Magnuson had full-on Melanie Griffith Cherry 2000 hair too. I
Yeah.
totally forgot about that shade of red. You
Well-
just
Oh,
don't
yeah.
see it anymore.
Well, I think the reason why is because for women back in those times in the olden days, red hair was a sign of independence and ferocity, and you could do whatever you wanted. Because you notice everyone else in the movie was blonde, except for Laurie Metcalf. She had kind of a sandy blonde hair, but every other female in the movie was blonde.
Yeah, all the flavors of white lady.
Right.
Right.
It's definitely a
Yep.
sign of individuality. You know, she's definitely the kooky one.
No. And if I remember correctly, there was a scene in which they were giving Ulysses a birthday party, and there was a woman there, and she had long brunette hair and big ass Sally Jesse Raphael glasses. So,
Yes.
and I'm just like, well, you can't be blonde and wear glasses. And and she wore glasses too. Frankie wore glasses too, if you noticed.
Just that one time in the car.
No, she wore them a couple times.
Really?
Yeah.
But mostly when she was driving, I noticed.
Yeah.
They were a nice looking pair of glasses.
They were. Her
Those were
fashion
good.
was amazing.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Bolero jackets everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, yeah.
And then
But
Jeff
let's-
resets them, and
Yeah, he's reset, and then that's kind of like it for the two of them. Like they have to go in opposite directions now because it's his time to blast off into space.
but what I thought was weird
Right.
that she actually completed her job because everyone, like when the news broke that Ulysses was a love-struck android, that's what sold people. Not the fact that they
Yeah.
have a fucking lifelike autonomous robot fucking rocking around. Like you would think that.
Exactly.
You think that would be the fucking news, not that he was, love struck. That's so weird. It's like, are you seriously having to get Congress to give you money after you fucking built a robot, an actual fucking robot? They would be giving you tons of money, fucking military contracts up the ass. Are you kidding? That was the one thing I couldn't believe about that movie.
No, we
But-
want to
but-
see the humanity inside our
Yeah,
robot.
we want to know immediately about his penis.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus. Which is weird. Why would an android need a penis?
To give him confidence.
Because
Oh yeah, it's true. That's what Jeff said.
to give him confidence.
She actually asked. She
confidence.
actually asked, "Why do you have a penis?"
Why do you need that thing?
Yeah.
Jeff said it would give me confidence.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
Which
bizarre.
makes me
Yeah.
think
No, she
that
makes
perhaps
she makes a big deal about that. Yeah.
it makes me think that maybe Jeff elaborated on his own for the robot.
Mm.
Oh,
Yeah.
so do you think the
Made
robot has more?
made some improvements.
Yes. Yes. Why not improve upon things for confidence?
Huh.
Eh. So so everyone loves the robot. He's perhaps, we think he's been reprogrammed when we see him next, about to blast off into space.
Right.
Because he comes out and he kind of says, I used to have those feelings. I don't have those feelings anymore.
Well, but it was weird though because he had a conversation with Jeff, and they were talking about love and stuff. And then Jeff was like, it's just, it's just a chemical reaction, blah blah blah, this and that, and then it's done. And then Ulysses was just kind of like, I think it's more than that or whatever. So it's just very interesting how like the creator, is more of a monster than the monster kind of situation. And so it goes back to that sort
Right.
it goes back to that sort of Frankenstein thing because we were talking about it yesterday about her name is Frankie Stone, and I think Odessa was saying Stone.
Oh.
Stone in German is Stein, I guess.
Yep.
So Frankie
He's
Stein
Frankenstein.
is her name. So basically, even
Oh.
though Jeff created it, she was the one that gave it life, which is kind of really cool if that's what they were angling for. But it was just
they
really
had
nice
to
to see
have.
that
Yeah,
Ulysses was
I mean,
having
that's
that
so
that thought.
Yeah, I mean that's so on the nose when you think about it. Yeah, of course it took me until just now, but yes.
That's so
Don't
deep.
you get it?
I can't unhear that now. Yeah,
Yeah, the Frankie Stone. That's so deep.
it's going. It's yeah.
At least 2 feet
this
deep.
goes. Yeah, at least 2. Yeah, no.
Yeah,
this,
no, you
this
won't-
goes to levels, man.
Yeah, you won't drown in this deepness.
No fear of that.
You will not. You will not.
Okay, either the most amazing sacrifice is made or the most
Obvious choice.
obvious choice,
Right.
piece of
The-
self-interest.
yeah.
Jeff shoots himself into space instead.
Right. Because he can fulfill his dream and can isolate himself and doesn't have to talk to people anymore.
But okay,
It's
so
win-win.
do you think he did that out of selflessness, or do you think he did it out of selfishness?
Oh, total selfishness.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because I think it was I think it was played where Jeff says, he had a soft spot and he said, "Okay, you're in love with her. Go to her, my creation, and I will take your place." I think that's what they were angling for, but how Jeff was how he was portrayed the whole time, was this is totally, he was maybe didn't have any faith in Ulysses anymore, and he needed to take the reins. So I think it could go either way, you know.
Yeah, I mean, he's got like no understanding of human emotions. It seems like I don't think he would do this. Step aside to let them be together. I think it's more like, you know what, I'm the right man for the job.
Yeah, now I have to. No, I have to do this because you're fucked up.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, which is weird though, because
the closest he comes is when he's talking to Glenn Headley at the party, and he actually begins engaging with her for a second, and then they completely derail that.
But then the weird thing about it though is, if Ulysses truly is an android, what is stopping Jeff from actually wiping all that stuff out, you know, beforehand, before sending him up? But he never did that. So is it then, you know, Jeff being, you know, I don't want to erase, you know, all the stuff that you already had and go to her, because he was well within the ability to just kind of reset him, but he never did throughout the whole movie.
Oh, I don't know about
That's
that.
True.
I mean, isn't this the question of AI? Like, once you program consciousness into it, you've lost control of it anyway.
Well, that's only
right.
That's only if, but that's only if it's able to get out and do stuff. I mean, the main thing about it is, like, if you have it self-contained in it and it starts to think, you can always just turn it off or reprogram it to get it out of it.
Sure. Yeah. But I think it was also a matter of, you know, he didn't want to undo all the work that he had done already.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just something to ponder about it at the end, you know, because as you know, as humans, we like to look at the beautiful, happy ending of the movie, but maybe this is just a giant selfish ending, and everyone got what they wanted because they were selfish.
Which is more likely.
Yeah. That is more likely.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah, I mean, this is the Reagan era, so yeah.
Yeah, and
Indeed
Jeff's in
good.
love with outer space, so he gets his love.
Yeah, because seriously, nowadays, as cynical as we are, fucking Ulysses would have went up to space, and she would have been waiting for him, pining on one of those weird kind of like sea wife, you know, balconies, looking over this, looking up into space, waiting for her astronaut to come back in 7 years. Would have that been some shit?
But here's
it would have been.
But now getting to the crux of the story, did you guys feel that the romance between Frankie and Ulysses was ultimately earned at the end?
No.
No. It was so arbitrary. It was just so tacked on.
Yeah, because she interacted with Jeff as much as she interacted with Ulysses. And Ulysses was like a giant man baby.
Right. And she's like, but then suddenly at the end, she's like, yeah, I'm all about this man baby.
Yeah. It's like once he was gone, she realized that she wanted that back.
Yeah, but like what? Just because he wasn't like a he was like, oh, he wasn't a full-on jerk like her ex. I mean, it's so, yeah. I mean, I don't have faith. I don't have faith in that relationship.
But that's the beauty of the 80s. Think about it. Two things. Number one, it's horrible because she has to teach this man baby everything about the world now. So how is she going to work? How is she going to do her stuff? Because she's constantly looking after this man baby. Number one. Number two, or the second possibility is that it's every woman's dream to be able to control a man and program him however you want him to do.
Oh boy.
Is that it? Is that what we're thinking about? She can literally tell this man to do anything and he will.
Love slave.
Complete and utter dominance.
I don't know. I prefer the random setting.
Yeah.
Sure feels random.
Yeah, she's like, you can vibrate for a while, then you randomly turn to, like, you know, ka-chugging, and then you randomly turn to
pile
suckage.
drive mode.
Yeah.
From vibrate to pile drive. There you go.
Sorry.
Did Ulysses, like, come with a manual? What happens if she gets him wet or something? Like, that's it. Like, you're done for 7 years until Jeff gets back so we can fix him.
Well, she's seen him do the restart button, and then
when he
fainted
fell in the
after
pool.
kissing
so,
her.
Yeah, she's probably
she just slapped him across the face after he fainted when she, so it's like, oh, this is what she's going to do now. She's just going to slap him. Silly.
Right.
Maybe this is a happy ending.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah. What kind of happy ending? Ooh. Yeah. There's just gonna be just 7 years of foot massages
and slapping.
It had me thinking if they were gonna do a sequel, it would be like her her passing Ulysses off to her mom as a human, and then mom being like, well, when are you going to give me grandchildren? And then they have to make a whole bunch of robot babies.
Oh man, because those robot babies would always be the same age forever.
Yeah, and then they have to make a slightly different robot baby every year. Yeah, and then you have just 10 years later, there's just a fleet of robot babies, and yeah.
And then Ad Magnuson takes over the world.
Yes,
again
with robots that vaguely look like John Malkovich in his childhood.
That would be an awesome movie.
Wow. Well, never too late.
Right?
Let's get working on that script.
Yeah. Oh, pitching it out there. Yeah.
So overall, I would give Making Mr. Right a 5 out of 8 80s.
Wait, what?
The scale is from 1 to
the scale is from 1.
The scale is from 1 to 80.
It's a new rating system.
I don't know. I just was being silly.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, 5 out of 8 80s. Okay.
Math is hard. I really enjoyed this movie, and I was so surprised that I'd never seen it before.
Even though we were talking through it, yes, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Despite Shecky, I enjoyed this movie.
I was vaguely aroused by it, so and I'm not sure how comfortable I feel with that, but there it is.
Whatever works.
I like the Jews.
Yeah.
I always like them.
You do like Jews.
I got wet when he yelled, "He's Mushugana!" I'm like, oh.
Oh boy. Good one.
All you Jews, take your sandwiches and leave.
and the fucking cigar that never left his mouth. Like, what?
I give it 5 out of 8 triangular throw pillows.
There you go.
Oh, nice. Hi-ya! Give it one strong triangular throw pillow right in the eye.
Yep, right in the eye.
Yes. Okay. Well, Galen, how can our audience find you? Should they want to find you?
I try not to be found, but if I have to be found, I'm generally found on the Instagrams, Galen Howard, all one word, and you can see photos I put up of myself.
Good.
And also your Android.
Yes, my Android. Yes. If it's not, I would call him what? Iliad.
There you go.
Yes.
Iliad. Very good.
The Iliad. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, Archimedes.
Archimedes. Yes, Archimedes. Yeah. Yes, my Android. Archimedes.
I'd call my Android Sambo.
Oh no!
Oh boy.
We can't allow this.
What? It was a chain in the 70s.
I call mine Dewey McJewstein.
Excellent.
Okay.
I call mine Tiddly Tar Tatar.
Beautiful.
I like how sensitive we've become now that it's not the 80s anymore.
Yep.
We've really
Learned so
matured.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, if you want to hear more Speakeasily versus the 80s, go to speakeasily.tv, and you can go to Facebook and type in Speakeasily, Hour Minute Podcast, and join our special peoples group. And, give us a review on the iTunes.
Yeah.
You can follow us on the Spotify and all the things and the things. Just do the thing. Do the right thing.
We're not going to review that movie, by the way.
Thank you. You've certainly been an audience. Good night.
Imagine me and you, I do. I think about you day and night. It's only right to think about the girl you love and hold her tight. So happy together. If I should call you up, invest a dime, and you say you belong to me, lose my mind. Imagine how the world could be so very fine, so happy together. I can't see me loving nobody but you for all my life. When you're with me, baby, the skies will be blue for all my life. Me and you and me, no matter how they toss the dice, it had to